Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Schneider. Welcome to the Song Club.
I knew it was a bad idea to meet you here, my dear. 'Cause now that you've done it-
Oh, yeah, look at my excitement. Well, I'm excited. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I was sitting there with my head in my hands like an old Irish sea maiden. But even though that's what I was looking like, I'm actually feeling more like a young Welsh schoolgirl on her first day of school. And by first day of school, I mean first day of college. And it's exciting to be here with you, wherever you are, in the Song Club. And I've got my sunglasses on, I've got my hoodie on, and I'm ready to do a citywide production of The Wire, where I play, let's face it, the police captain. I'm not the new guy. I've been on the force for a while. I should be the police chief, but I've gotten into some trouble because I am more concerned with catching the bad guys than I am playing politics, office politics. So I'm still only a captain, but my force, you know, the people that I work with, they love me. They got my back. And but the chief's always calling me into his office, so it's just the way it goes. Also, I'm not centered in the camera, which is kind of bugging me, but I don't really want to do anything about it. Or do I? Oh, that's so much better. If you're just listening to this on audio, you're like, I don't see the difference. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, oh, thank you for doing that. Thanks for getting that shit centered, brah. Well, it's 2023. It's the last month of 2023, and it's been a good year. I've written some great songs, and this last month of songwriting has been no exception. Probably my favorite song I wrote the entire year I wrote this last month, called Work Around the Butthole. Now, when I wrote this song, I wasn't sure if it was any good. In fact, I wasn't even sure if I was going to play it. I was like, oh, is this just a dumb joke song? And maybe it is. I don't know. But there's something about it that I find very appealing in terms of playing it. It's a song that's silly, obviously, but also some real shit. So, is it based on some autobiographical stuff? Well, players never kiss and tell. And am I a player? I mean, I'm a playa. Spelled with an E-R. P-L-A-Y-A-E-R. Playa. It's a silent E-R. It's the French spelling. But yeah, so I wrote that. I also wrote a classic Christmas song this year. Don't always do it. I write a Christmas song every year. It's not often that I write a classic. And I think this one I wrote this year, it's going to go in there with the Pantheon. Like it's another Red-Nosed Reindeer song. It's another Frosty the Snowman. It's weird thinking of a world, and there was a world where Frosty the Snowman didn't exist. It was called World War II. And they were fighting a war, trying to kill the Nazis. And I guess there was another war in the Pacific, too. I don't know much about that one. I just know about the killing the Nazis. And at that time, Frosty the Snowman didn't exist. And people were just like, they died in that war, and they'd never heard that song. Now, am I going to look it up while I'm talking to you guys? Yeah. To see if I'm right. Because it might have been written before the end of the war, but I don't think so. Let's see when it was written here. Frosty the Snowman. It was written in 1950. So yeah, all the people that died in World War II, they never heard that song. Now we live in a world where we just take that song for granted, and that's the world we live in. We have computers. They didn't have computers in World War II. How are they figuring shit out? I don't know. Like, how were they figuring shit out? They were like calling each other on a fucking phone. Like the phones where you would just pick it up and tell the operator, you know, hey, call Joe Schmo. And they'd be like, right away. And then they would just dial it. And you would like talk to the operator. That's the kind of phones they had back then. And then they were like, sprechen Sie Deutsch, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we don't know what they're saying. They're speaking German, but it doesn't make any sense. And then the code break that shit. And it was all on the radio. Dude, no Netflix. Can you imagine a time without Netflix, without streaming content? There's so much content now. A lot of people don't leave their homes. Why would they? I don't leave. I'm playing like live music, you know? I have no idea why anybody would come out. And they don't. They come out less and less often because they're getting used to that cozy at home. You don't have to pay for parking to watch whatever's on Netflix, to watch Candy Cane Lane. You just sit in your chair, poop when you want. You can't go to a club and poop. You sure can while you're watching Candy Cane Lane. I started watching Candy Cane Lane and oh boy, I don't think that's a classic the way my Christmas song that I wrote this month is a classic. But look, I'm partial. Is it partial? I'm not impartial. I guess that's what it is. Should we get into it? Maybe. I want to thank my Patreon crew, the folks that support me on Patreon. Thanks, you guys. I do appreciate it. I'm excited because my album that I wrote and recorded, I wrote it a long time ago. When I say a long time ago, I wrote it 2 years ago, recorded it almost a year ago. We started recording in December of last year, and now it's December of this year. Me and my boy, Max Frost. And that record's coming out right now to Patreon. If you're in the Patreon group, you're getting the record early, and then the rest of the world will get it soon after. But you guys in the Patreon get it right away. And you get it, you get the MP3s of it. Unlike the rest of the world where you got to stream it, so you got to pay somebody every month. And then they take most of that money and they buy cars and yachts and whores, cocaine, heroin, islands, people. They buy stuff with most of that money that you give them to listen to me and to other artists. And then they give just the tiniest penny of every dollar, every euro. They take like 1 penny and peel it off and they give it to the artist. They go, here's your penny. Yeah, I know that you guys created all the content, but we're the ones who made the app, bitch. So here's your penny. And we're like, we'll take it. We don't, what we should be doing is going and killing them. I'm not advocating murder. But if this was medieval times and homeboy was peeling off a penny for our pig blankets that we were making in our slaughterhouses, we would take the pig blankets and go, hey, here's your pig blankets. We'd take it to the store where they sold pig blankets, the old pig blanket store. You're going to sell these pig blankets for 100 shillings, or whatever the fuck money was back then. And the guy's like, yes, 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 mon Farouk, we will sell these for 100 shillings. And here you go. And they would peel off 1 penny. Here's your penny for your pig blanket, bitch. Which is what's, Spotify and Apple and stuff, they do that. And, but if it was those times, medieval times, the guy would go home to the hovel that he lived in with his wife, and the wife would be like, "Did you get where's the money for the pig blankets?" Because he's worked hard slaughtering pigs and peeling off their skin and making these blankets. And he would go, "Look, I have 25 pennies." And his wife would just slap him across the face with a fucking wet dish rag and scream at him, filling his ears with vitriol and scorn. "You dumb fuck. You piece of shit. You dumb fucking piece of fucking dog dick. What are you thinking?" And he would be like, "Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking." He's like, "Go get your friends together and go murder those fuckers." And you would get your friends together because you would just do whatever your wife told you. And you would get your pitchforks and your fucking, like, buckets of hot tar. Because I guess there's used hot tar in the pig blanket product. I don't know. But that's what they used to have back before Netflix. They had buckets of hot tar. And you would go to the store and go, "Hey, fuckface, you didn't give me enough money. I thought these 25 pennies were fine, but my wife slapped me with a dish towel. Now we're about to fuck you up, boy." And they would just murder the guy. Put pitchforks in him, cover him with tar, and just leave him a smoldering carcass. And then people would come to the big blanket store and go, "What happened to Jimmy?" And it's like, well, he wasn't giving these people enough dough. And they would go, "Well, that's the way it is. It's medieval times." But now we're in the modern times, and can't do it. You can't just go to the folks who run Spotify and Apple and cover them with tar and hit them with pitchforks. So. And there's nothing you could do. There's stuff you could do. I guess you could get lawyers and you could sue them, but guess what? You don't think that way when you're an artist. You only think that when you're a psychopathic CEO of some business where you're just fucking constantly raping artists. Just constantly fucking sucking all the dough, peeling off all the dough, and just, here's just the tiniest slice of the pie so that you don't die. We need you alive because you're creating all the content. You're creating everything. So we need you to stay alive. But of course, we're not going to, you won't be living like we are. We'll be living. Look at these people that we've bought, these properties we've bought, all this stuff we've amassed on the backs of your sweat and labor. And we're like, yeah, that's cool, but you can't get into heaven with all that shit, bitch. And they're like, we're not worried about heaven. Heaven is a place called now for us. So you worry about heaven, artist. I was trying to think of another word that they would call artists, but they would just call us like dumb. You dumb artist. Anyways, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, artists are from the land of make-believe, and CEOs of company are just, they are what they are. They can't make anything. They can't make art. They can't make beauty. They can't fill the world with anything good. So they're like, well, fuck it. We'll just hoard all this money like little goblins and then look at it. And maybe that'll make us feel something. And they just look at their hoard of gold and they go, I need more. like Gollum. And then we, as artists, we get to like make stuff, joy, create joy, make the world better, bring joy to people. So I guess it all works out in the end. They get their hoard piles of gold. We get applause and laughter and smiles. And also, whatever, sexual favors come along with being in the entertainment industry. But let's do it. This is the Song Club. And as much as I love talking about music and how it's made and how unfair everything is, let's get into it. And we'll just start with my favorite song of the year. It's been a fruitful year. I still got a month to go. You never know. You never know when you're going to write something good. But this is a little song called Work Around the Butthole. Let's listen to it. Let's see if we like it. See how it goes. Here we go. Already it's promising, I think.
She did a little work around the butthole, and I liked it. I did a little work around the butthole too. If you go to San Francisco, you gon' find me in the weeds. I sneezed and lost a tooth. Oh, that's the truth. It's on the roof. But she did a little work around the butthole, and I liked it. I did a little work around her butthole too.
Didn't really get that line right.
So let's go meet the panel. There's Stevie's from Seattle. Guess who's coming up next? If you guessed Patty from the duplex, you'd be correct. So she did a little work around the butthole, and we liked it. We did a little work around the butthole too. Do you know where we are? Are we still inside the car?
Yeah, that's a nice little song. It's sort of a, just a nice little song about relationships and getting to know someone better. I like it. It's a fun song to play live. It's one of those songs that could be like, 6 months from now, I might be like, maybe I've played it enough. Who knows? I don't think of it as a complete joke song. There are songs that are just jokes. Like I wrote a song where I used the chorus from an Air Supply song, and I could only play that a couple times before it was like, well, it's a nice song, but it's also just kind of the joke is like, oh, it's the Air Supply song, and maybe this song will be that way. I don't know. You never know. It's like a relationship. You meet somebody, you're enthralled with them. They make you laugh. They remind you of, your fucked up parents, your fucked up childhood, or not fucked up if you grew up in a place where it wasn't fucked up. Whatever it is, you meet somebody, they remind you of that, and you're like, oh, I'm in love. And sometimes that works, and then sometimes 2 months later, like, I'm not so in love as much as I thought I was. And that's the way it is with songs. You write a song, you're real excited about it, and then you're not. So it is weird. Songs. Don't get me wrong. When you write like a really good, like when I wrote 40 Dogs. I was like, this is a good song. Like as I was writing it, I was like, this is pretty good. When I was done, I was like, I'm pretty happy with it. 2002 is another one I wrote, and I was like, this is a good song. But then there's songs that you write that you're like, I had no idea what this song even is. And sometimes songs like that tend to be good songs. Like I wrote Burger King in Rome this year, I guess. Or was it last year? I might have wrote it last year. End of last year. Sometime in the last year I've written it. And I was like, I don't know if this is any good or not. And now it's a song that I play almost every show. And I really like it. I can even play it solo, which is a big litmus test for a song. You can play almost anything with a band. You could pick up a turd and polish it and present that, and people will be like, oh, it sounded good. We like it. But if you're playing a song acoustic solo and it sucks, you're going to find out pretty quick how good it is or not. It's the closest thing. Playing acoustic is the closest, and when I say closest, it's still so far from stand-up comedy. When you do stand-up comedy, there's no harder art form than stand-up comedy, because you're either making them laugh or you're not. And if you're not making them laugh, you're fucked. And some people will make you laugh, and you're like, I'm not even sure if the jokes are good or what they're doing, but if you're laughing, it's a success. And if you're not, there's no sugarcoating, bombing. But man, with songwriting, you can really warm up some bullshit and serve it up hot, and people just eat it up all day long. I know, because I see it all the time. I'm like, people are buying this bullshit. I'm not talking about my stuff, because my stuff's fucking quality. You know that. That's why you're part of the Patreon. That's why you're here in the Song Club. But there's so much stuff that people are just throwing out there that's just not good at all. It doesn't stop people from fucking totally lapping up every last drop of it. I guess all of that is just to say, just to kind of introduce this next song, which I wrote. It's called Ding Dong, which I just wrote it this week. And I was like, is this song any good? And I kind of wrote it last minute, because I give myself a deadline every Tuesday to write these songs. So I kind of waited till the last minute, wrote it, and sent it out. And then I just played it Monday for the first time at the Saxon Pub. And I was like, it's not bad. I will say it's a song I've listened to a bunch of times now, and I enjoy listening to it. Again, a lot of songs you enjoy at first, and then after a while you don't ever want to hear them again. I don't think this is going to be one of those songs. I feel like this is a song that I'll probably always enjoy listening to it, because it's silly, but there's something charming about it. Let's listen to it. It's called Ding Dong. We gotta crank it though. It's not very loud.
Ding dong. My pool look good. My pool look nice. Your girl, she broke. She got mice. My bitch bad. She from Mississippi. Half model and half hippie. She went to beauty school to learn facials. My bitch, she's special. You drive a nice car in your head, but it's only make-believe. You got a Mazda and your daddy dead. Ding dong. Oh my God, what have I done? Ding dong. Said something that offended someone. Ding dong. My girl got a titty tattoo. She once swallowed a fistful of glue. Ding dong. My back is broken. I don't give a fuck. Tried to do the crossword, but I'm stuck. If you know the way to Mandalay, do me a favor. Drop me a pin on Google Maps. Your breath smell like my grandma's titties. Shitty. Ding dong. Oh my God, what have I done?
I did use the word titty twice on that one, so in one verse, which is probably too many times to use it. I mean, I don't know if there's a limit to how many times you should or could or shouldn't say the word titty in a verse. I feel like I might have maybe gone overboard with that one a little bit. It's hard to say, but I do like that song, and I didn't want to stop listening to it. Like I just was like, well, I hate it when somebody plays me a song and they make me listen to the whole thing. I'm like, I got it. That's what we do in the song club here. I'll play a little bit of it. Just tell you, you can kind of get the vibe. You're like, oh, I like that song. Oh, I want to hear more of it. Just go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bob Schneider. And you can get the song. Now, some people don't know about the song club. They don't know that you can get all these songs every month right when I write them. I was at the Saxon Pub last night, and we played Work Around the Butthole, and this guy was like, oh, I got to get the live copy of this. I'm like, well, and I didn't want to explain it to him. I didn't want to tell him about Patreon. I was like, yeah, maybe he'll find out eventually. You either know or you don't know. And there's no explaining anything to anybody about anything, really. You can try. But most of the time, people just know what they know, and anything that's not that, they're like, I don't want to listen. I get it. Well, should we play another new one, or should we go into the vault? Let's go into the vault. This is a song I can't believe that I've never released in the song club. And it's called, the song's called Home. It's a real old song. It's a song I used to do when I first started playing at the Saxon Pub. It's been 24 years now that I've been playing at the Saxon Pub, which is crazy to me. And when I first started out playing there in the late 90s, I was mostly just playing in a couple bands. I was in a band called Ugly Americans. I was in a band called Scabs. Before that, I was in a band called Joe Rocket. In all of those bands, I just sang. I didn't play guitar or anything. And so when I started writing songs, a lot of the songs that I wrote were like rap songs, because Joe Rocket was a rap band. Ugly Americans, we did some rap stuff. Scabs, rhythm and blues, a lot. So lots of songs I wrote just had like one chord in it and stuff, and I enjoyed writing that stuff. And anyways, they weren't very complex, the songs, but I do remember this song Home. I used to play it quite a bit early on in the early 2000s, and I like the song a lot. Again, shocked that it's never been part of the song club, because we're going on 4 or 5 years now of the song club, and you'd think that a song like this would have surfaced at some point, but it just shows you how many sort of great songs are still, in the vault that have never been released in the song club. Obviously besides brand new ones like Work Around the Butthole and Ding Dong. And of course the Christmas classic coming up that you haven't heard yet. But yeah, let's listen to this Bob Schneider classic from the early 2000s or late 1900s. 1990s, I guess. It's called Home. All right, here we go.
Woke up this morning, I was filled with dread. One less day left before I'm dead and gone. Dead and gone. Woke up running, woke up scared, looking for answers. Start there, I'm gone. I'm gone. Just gotta find some way out of here. Just gotta find some way home. Woke up this morning, curse on my breath, eating, beating myself to death till I'm gone. Gone. Woke up to find I was all alone. Scream on my lips, heart full of bones. I'm gone, baby, I'm gone. Just gotta find some way out of here. Just gotta find some way home. Woke up naked on your floor. Don't know if I know who I am anymore. I'm gone.
Oh yeah, if I was doing that song today, you know there'd be some harmonica on there because I've become, a great harmonica player, as everybody knows who's come to see me lately. Yeah, that's the song called Home. And that's definitely a time in my life. It's weird. Some songs just remind you of times in your life, and I do feel like that time in my life when I wrote that was kind of just an edgy time in my. It's before I was married. It's kind of single or was in these relationships. I don't know. I just didn't really know who I was. I didn't really know how to be in relationships. That's the other thing. The ones that I was in, I didn't know how to be in relationships because I had never been taught. I just watched people be in relationships. I watched my parents be in their relationships, which was not they loved each other, but they didn't know how to be in relationship. They were both raised by these, raised by alcoholics and people that were kind of fucked up, and then they were kind of fucked up, and so that's all I knew. And so I was doing the best I could, but I never got any. I wasn't educated, and then later I got educated. Later in the 2000s, I ended up going to a place where I learned about what it's like, what it is to be in a real relationship with somebody, what that's supposed to look like, how you're supposed to do that, how to communicate to people, what you're feeling, and to feel connected to somebody by knowing what you're feeling, what they're feeling. I didn't know any of that shit. I was just let's just do it. Why don't we do it in the road? I was like, that's all you need to know is do it in the road. Anyways, there's more to it. And the more you learn how to be in real relationships with people in the world, really, that's really the bottom line. It's, be in good relationships with people, but also your relationship with the world needs to be good. And it is now, for me, for the most part. I like who I am. I like how I show up in the world. I like my relationship with the world. It's solid. I have boundaries, which I didn't even know existed. I didn't know about boundaries. Turns out you can just create your own boundaries and then feel comfortable inside those boundaries. You don't just have to put up with everything. Anyways, just a bunch of stuff I learned. But when I think of that song, Home, that was a time in my life when I didn't know about any of that stuff. I didn't know. The only thing I was concerned with was who do I need to be? Who do you need me to be so that you'll love me and then I'll be safe? And of course I didn't, know how to say that, but I knew how to write a song about that feeling of wanting to get back home. And by home, I meant just being at home inside myself, inside my own skin. which I, for the most part, am. No, not always. I mean, obviously, there's things I don't like about myself. I have high standards for the world and for myself, so. And that's something I need to also work on. Like, I need to just cut myself and cut the world a break, because Jesus Christ, we don't know what we're doing. Nobody does. And people that say they do, they're just pretending. Oh, I mean, they might think they know something. Don't get me wrong. I think I know some shit, boy. And I'll tell you about it. You got the rest of your life to listen to me fucking blamber on? Because I'll blamber on, boy, all day long. My wife's like, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm like, I know. I agree. I do need to shut the fuck up. But I don't. I just keep on going like the Energizer Bunny, telling you what I think I know, what I think I don't know, and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, let's listen to another song. I've never done this before that I'm aware of, which is give you a live song. So I've got this recording for the song called I Can't Get Gone. I don't know if you saw the Get Back documentary of the Beatles. I think it's called, is it Get Back? Anyways, it's the one where they were going to film them writing and recording a record. And the record was going to be live, and then they scrapped it. They're like, this isn't working out. And then, of course, 50 years later, it comes out, and it's an amazing document of that time and the Beatles. And in one scene in the Beatles, they're jamming, and Paul McCartney starts writing Get Back. And it's very exciting to watch because you're watching a song that you know, a classic Beatles song being written, being birthed, as it were, like you're at the birth of that song. And it's exciting. So what I used to do back when I was touring with the band is we would set up our instruments and do a sound check. And sometimes at sound check, we'd make up songs or just jam. And so we were at the Poor House in Charleston, South Carolina. It says it was 2010, so 13 years ago. And we were doing a sound check, and I started writing this song called I Can't Get Gone. Now, I went back later and figured out what the lyrics were, but while we were doing the sound check and while this song was being written, like the song didn't exist, and then I just started playing it. And it's pretty cool. Like the song kind of came out exactly the way it is. Now it's a blues song. Has the song been written? Is it sound like about 50 other blues songs? Yeah. Sounds like all John Lee Hooker's songs that he's ever written. But I hadn't written a lot of John Lee Hooker's blues songs. John Lee Hooker mostly had. So I was excited about that. Anyways, I like the recording. I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of a great document of that time, and it's a great performance. It's Bill Cassis on guitar, a great guitar player. You might know him from Soul Hat, and also he played with me for at least a year, maybe two. Ollie Steck playing accordion, which I think he's playing. I'm pretty sure he's playing accordion. Probably Harmony Kelly on bass. Conrad Chacroon on drums, I believe. Anyways, let's check it out. It's called I Can't Get Gone. Just a fun song, for sure. And this is it as it was being written. Now, I never recorded a demo for this song, so this is as close to a demo as it gets. Here we go. I Can't Get Gone.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's my blues voice.
Now when you walk down the street, I something that you've done. I got something that I want, but I can't get gone. Can't get gone. I can't get gone. I can't get gone. You got loving like I never seen. I wanna show you something, baby. You got loving I ain't never seen. I wanna show you something, baby, but I can't get gone. Can't get gone. I try all night long. Now I was telling out something tonight down by the track. I seen you scratching on your igloo, saying don't come back, and I can't get gone. I can't get gone. I've been trying all night long.
Oh yeah, that song goes on. By the way, that is a long ass song. It's probably like 8. I think it's over 8 minutes long. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, just a wonderful little recording that I found when I was looking for that song. I was like, oh, let me look, because I wanted to present that song. I can't get it. I realized I don't have a demo for it, but that's as close as it comes because that song got written at that Soundcheck. And I'll probably, play it next week at Saxon Pub. I haven't played it in a minute, and it's a fun song to play because there's nothing wrong with the blues as long as you don't take it too seriously. As long as you don't make that your life's work and you just do it for fun every once in a while, I think that's a good thing. And if it is your life's work, that's fine too. Just not for me. It ain't for me. But I just don't want to do one thing ever. Like if I just had one genre and that's what I was known for, I'd be like, well, there's all these other things you can do. Like if I just did blues, I wouldn't be able to do Ding Dong and Work Around the Butthole. And if I just did Ding Dong or just did Work Around the Butthole, I wouldn't be able to do I Can't Get Gone. So I like all the flavors. I like all 32 flavors of music. There's only 32, by the way. A lot of people think there's more. A lot of people think there's less. A lot of people think there's like 5 flavors. Reggae, rock, rap, folk, and did I say country already? I don't remember. That's how good my brain works. But there's 32. There's Bulgarian. Dude, there's Bollywood. That's a whole flavor. Dude, that Bollywood music is so good. There's so much Bollywood music that you've never heard that's so fucking good. Like, it's weird how much... That's the other thing about the world. I mean, you kind of get a glimpse of it because you can, like, open up your phone and kind of dig around and you start finding stuff. You're like, oh, really? There's South Korea? Dude, South Korea? Dude, the shit that they make, the music, the movies are amazing. I can't even imagine. Like, there's probably, like, authors and shit. There's probably books. There's probably literature there. I mean, that country is tiny. It's tiny, South Korea. And they're just making so much good shit. Argentina? Maybe the best movie makers on earth. And how many Argentinian movies have you seen? Probably 3. 9 Queens, Fishtails, or Big Tails, and Secrets in Their Eyes, if you've seen any. But there's so many good movies. If you haven't seen Secret in Their Eyes, they remade it. Don't watch the remake. For God's sakes, don't watch the fucking remake. All right, let's listen to another new song. I played at the Longhorn City Limits, which is a stage they set up by the UT Stadium, and they have concerts there, I guess, every home game. I didn't know this. Found out recently. Anyways, we got hired to go play down there, and it was awesome. There was 20,000 people there. It was amazing. And we had a good time, and I wrote this song the week before. Now, I knew this gig was coming up, and as I was writing it, I was like, oh, this would be a fun song to try to get the crowd to sing, and then I chickened out. Once I got out there, I was like, I'm not going to try to get these people. Now, if I could have got 15,000 or 20,000 people, however many people were there to shout out my name, it would have been amazing. But I chickened out. I was like, I'm not taking any chances because it was a fun show. We were having a good time. And I thought, man, if I do this and it fails, then it's really going to put a damper on things. I should have tried it. Should have tried it, though. But I didn't because I'm a bit of a chicken. But let's listen to the song. It's called Call Me By My Name. It goes a little something like this.
Sheila, she's only got 5 toes, and where the others went, nobody knows. She might have told me once, but I forgot, I guess. You don't need to ask again, the answer's always yes. You're my one and only true heart's desire. Let me take your hat off and throw it in the fire. Oh, I do like reggae, but no, I never play it. I'm not crazy about my name, but I love the way you say it. Bob Schneider. Mama went to heaven when she died. Potato salad with pickles on the side. My daddy went to hell, that's what they say. He out in Indiana with some honey PDA. Oh my God, you're my one desire. So baby, take your hat off and throw it in the fire. Well, I bring it, but I never ever played it. I'm crazy about my name, but I love the way you say it. Bob Schneider.
Yeah, there you go. That song's called Call Me By My Name. Not to be confused with Call Me By Your Name, which is a wonderful movie starring Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer, who I guess is canceled because I don't know. Who knows? I don't know that much about it. I started watching the documentary on him, and it sounded like he was having some fun with some adult women, and they were doing adult things, and I don't know. Somebody felt bad about it afterwards or something, and I don't know. That's all I know. And I don't want to get involved because I don't care, and I don't know that much about it. And he's too good looking of a man for me to care about. So, I don't know. There's sticks and stones, and then there's real shit, which is sticks and stones. By the way, when I say real shit, I mean the sticks and stones are real. Like, when you get hit with a stick and you get hit with a stone, it's no good. But when you get hit with a word, one good thing about music, Bob Marley tells us, when it hits you, you feel no pain. He's like, hit me with music. Yeah, hit me with music. I get it. Words hurt. I get it. I'm a sensitive person. I understand it. But also, they're words. What's wrong with people nowadays? Fucking figure it out. Watch All Quiet on the Western Front. Watch All Quiet on the Western Front. If you're having a problem with somebody, watch All Quiet on the Western Front and just go, God damn it, I've got it so fucking good. I'm not fucking dying in a fucking rat-infested, ice-cold latrine trench surrounded by mustard gas and an enemy that's trying to kill me so I don't kill them. All right. Enough with the negativity, Bobby. Bobby, why are you so negative? I don't know. Just every once in a while I get a little negative. But is it negative, or am I just like tired of the bullshit? I do feel like as you get older, you like see bullshit everywhere. Like the whole world, when you're young, the whole world just seems like this magical place. And then as you get older, it's like you walk behind the set and you see, oh, this is just a big set piece. And you realize it's not really that. It's not real. And all this is bullshit. And love is just a trick that our brain plays on us so that we'll procreate and create more of us because we're a virus. Oh, shit. Boys getting deep. Also, what? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about if you're my age. And if you're young, you're like, I don't get it. You will. All right, here's another new song. It's called Flying. I love this song. This is maybe my favorite month of songs that I've written. It might not be yours, but for me, I like it because these songs are they're just new songs. For me, they're new. Anyways, I wrote this song, Flying. I feel like I know what it's about, but it's a song that's very open-ended about what it means. It's a hard song to pull off live. I've tried to play it twice now, and it's a really hard song because the melody really never repeats. It repeats a little bit in the chorus, but the rest of the song, every line is a different melody, so you have to like learn the whole thing, which is hard for somebody like me who's not smart in that way. But let's listen to it together, and then we'll talk about it after in class, and we'll have a quick pop quiz on it. Here we go, Flying. Also, I did a video for this, which may or may not be online.
I went flying. I went flying.
Oh shit, we got like Bonnie there up in this bitch.
I went flying today. Waving goodbye along the way. This was the way it was meant to be. I guess it's hard to say, but whatever was meant to be is what was meant to be, I guess. I went flying today.
That's some Miles Davis shit right there, boy.
This awful stain across the sea, a broken memory. I looked for meaning in all of this, and all I found is emptiness. I went flying.
Yeah, that's a good line. I looked for meaning in all of this, and all I found was emptiness. Pretty good. Pretty good, B. Schneider. B. Schneider Ramo. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good month. I like all those songs. And we still haven't gotten to the Christmas song. We're going to go out with the Christmas song, by the way, because it's the Christmas time. It's December. But let's do one more old one. This is called Hole in Me. And, it is what it is. It's a song. And I wrote it a while back. I used to play it for a while, for probably when I wrote it. It says 2009. I think that's right. It sounds about right. It's probably about the time I wrote it. And it's probably when it wasn't quite good enough to go on a record, which is another thing that I like about the Song Club. Because I think it's a decent song. Just not good enough to go on a record. But not shitty enough to not ever hear it. And I like playing it. It's fun. Let's listen to it. And we'll talk about it afterwards if we feel like talking about it. Here it is, A Hole in Me.
I shot a bird, I poked my eye out.
Oh, shit.
Buried a deer, it's pretty bad now.
It's true, I did bury a deer.
There's glass in the road. My tongue's been sewn to the bottom of the sea. I got a hole in me that fits you to a T. There's a hole in anything at all. Yeah, yeah. I had a real bad dream, a real misbehavior. I tried, but I couldn't save her. All the hope in the world was for naught. All I got to give is all I got. A hole in me that fits you to a T. There's a hole in you that seems to fit me too. It's true.
Song about holes. We all got holes. Some got more than others. Because some people got shot. Fitty got some extra holes, but they closed up. You get an extra hole, they usually close up. If they don't close up, it's not a good thing. If they don't close up, you're probably like, this probably not going to last long on the earth. Well, anyways, that's about it. Of course, I got my Christmas song, but other than that, another Song Club has come and gone. Again, if you want to get all these songs that you heard today, go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bob Schneider, and join today. You'll get all these songs, plus some old songs from the other Song Clubs. And we've revamped it, thanks to Drew, my manager. He revamped it all, so it made it's a much easier experience now. Before, you had to jump through some hurdles, you had to like download some shit. Now it's all in one place. It's easy to find. It's easy to, all of it's easy now, which is wonderful for you and for me and for the world. Anyways, it's Christmas-ish. It's early December, but Christmas is right around the corner. And here it is, the song that I promised you earlier. It's the new Christmas classic called Lost Toe Christmas. Lost Toe Christmas? You got it. Take care. We'll see you in 2024. Oh my gosh. How crazy is that? 2024. It sounds like the future. I guess it is in a way. All right, here we go. Let's get Christmassy.
Well, I lost a toe in Christmas chopping down a Christmas tree. It bled all over everything. It was such a sight to see. I drove to the hospital to see what could be done to get that little lost soggy piggy sewed back on. They said there was no guarantee, but they'd give it a try. But only time would tell if it would come back to life. So when I got home, I wrote a letter addressed to Santa Claus. I wasn't sure that it could help, but I did it just because. All I want for Christmas is my toe back. I took it for granted for Now that there's a chance it might not grow back, I really want for it not to be gone. Come back, little piggy. Come back home to daddy.
All right, we'll see you next time. Merry Christmas.
Well, I waited up all night for Santa, but I fell asleep, it's true. And when I awoke, the place was filled with presents for me and you.